First real heavy frost on the windows, and I absolutely hate scraping windows. Right, tip the water, fresh water, and go and get them some feed and refill the water. The grass is crunching when you walk on it. It is totally white and solid. Yeah, another cup of coffee, second one this morning. Really want to fuel up for this surf. And we have a load more bulbs in here to plant. Yeah, this is how we get them. We get them wholesale. They're in there, giant box. Yeah, so we got all that to pot out. Right. Chicken food and a bowl. Right, as you can see, they've left a bit, and as I always keep saying, I'll bring it in because I don't leave that down there for any wildlife to be attracted. But anyway, I've got to go get the chicken feed. They'll be jumping out the door as they see me walk down. There they go. They know the routine better than I do. For me, I'm on autopilot. For them, they can't even wait for me to bring it in. There you go. And poor old Bluey's going to have to sit back and wait till they've all finished. Yeah, easterly wind. I can see by the windmill several miles in the distance. Easterly wind. Frost on the field. A little bit of mist hanging in the valley. It's going to be a cold one. But these conditions give us the best surf. Right, get the chicken some water, but it's actually frozen the wheelbarrow. At least it's not frozen solid inside, otherwise that becomes a pain in the ass. Just filled that and tried to avoid getting wet. There we go. Plenty for them to drink. Keep them going till I get back home and see what they're up to. I've got to check for eggs. That's cold. Yeah, they've made a mess in there. I've got to clean all that out now. Right, I've got all my kit just laid out here. It's not going to dry or help it. And my board, but I've got a school run to do before I actually chase the surf. 0, and we're now going to go down the valley and see how cold it is down there. Just stopped just outside the village. It's minus 0.5. I'm actually on the school run, but I just thought I'd video this. You can see just this heavy blanket of mist and fog hanging down in the valley. It looks absolutely stunning though, but it's going to be super cold when we get down there, and we have to go down into that. We're dropping back off high ground down towards where the rivers are. We've got a minus 1.5 here. Just done the school run. I've just stopped on the way home, and it is looking absolutely stunning. It's looking like the mist has been and gone. It's lifted quite fast actually. Right, we have a minus 1.0 and I'm going to be heading to the top of the valley now. We've still got mist in the lower parts of the valley, but I'm going to swing around and show you the tours. There's the high ground. Yeah, just before I shoot off and grab a few waves, I've just checked the chickens. I've got one egg so far, and if you can see that, we've got a lot of mist just rolling up from the valley. It's tracking all the way along the marshy ground, and it'll come pretty much to the corner of here, right to my property. So it's very, and I can actually see it. It's actually moving now. As the ground is warming up, it's creating that fog and mist, and it's moving. Right, I'm going to get ready and shoot off now. Yeah, the issue that stopped people travelling over the last few years, or has made it extremely difficult and costly, has affected people in more drastic and devastating ways than it has done us in that sense. But my wife hasn't been and seen a family member, or her dad shall I say, in over well 3 years really. So we've got a road trip planned. It's been planned for nearly 3 years, and indeed some of the deposits have been paid, but we've had to keep moving dates in line with the various restrictions, so we're hoping that goes and takes place. The kids are going to be in charge of this tulip operation and run it, and basically this is going to be their pocket money, and what they get to earn they get to spend in Portugal. So it's a road trip we're all looking forward to, and indeed I've kind of, should we say, enthused the kids by the fact that, you know, the more money that they can earn through these tulips for themselves, the more money they've got to spend on ice creams and any seaside items, and indeed things that they might want to bring back. So I'm interested to see how this enthusiasm for these young kids develops, and whether they can sustain it in any capacity. But yeah, it's all going to be interesting and a learning curve for them, and it can't do them no harm, you know, just to, you know, do a little bit of work, moving some plant pots around, filling some compost and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they develop through this process. This weekend I'm on my rota or shift, shall I say, and I'm on call out, so I won't be able to go anywhere except my own property, and I'll use the time I'm not conducting the work I'm on rota for just to start my stick preparation for our hiking sticks. But like I've said, today is a surf day. I'm meeting some people down there. You know, it's one of those, shall we say, situations that, you know, I have to be back home for the school run. We share a car. You know, if you're like low income, obviously there's compromises to be made. I do know there's another good day of surf tomorrow, which I'm going to try and exploit. And then I do know with what my family require, and indeed, you know, other aspects going on with our lives and every member of our family, I probably won't be able to get to the coast for at least another week and a half after this. So the car usage for us does get shared around, and obviously you know, it's just a fact of life if you don't run two cars. I'm, you know, painfully aware that you know, it would make life a lot easier if we had two cars, but ultimately, you know, I'm going to say it's not good for the environment. And if you can manage, why Why run two cars? Like I said, it's more of an inconvenience, because if I'm using the car and my wife or the kids need to be somewhere else, which, you know, 9 times out of 10 they don't, because they're at school, you know, obviously it causes a little bit of a, shall we say, situation. We've got to jiggle things around and things can become a bit rushed. But hey, that's modern life, isn't it? Yeah, now just walking up to check the surf and see what it's going to be like. Well, it was pretty crowded. There was some big waves. I feel pretty, shall we say, like I've had a fair workout. I've been smashed around a fair bit out there. I'm going to head on home. I've got chores to do, and I'll just give you a little bit of an update on what we're thinking as in regards to our lives this year. Like everyone, the pandemic caused, you know, a spectrum of issues for every family and indeed every person. And on our scale, we were lucky we weren't affected by severe illness and, should we say, any deaths related. But nevertheless, our personal lives were altered. We planned a road trip through Spain and Portugal. That obviously got canned. And on top of that, Portugal started to look like it could be somewhere we would be investing a little bit more time and possibly energy. We've talked about how we could spend extended periods of time there and how to achieve that, even down the route of buying a small piece of land, renting somewhere in, shall we say, the off-beaten areas. And indeed that got put to one side as we couldn't achieve any, you know, hard, shall we say, go and look, go and sort and price things up and see the local situation on the ground, because we couldn't do that. It kind of got slid a little bit out of consciousness a little bit. So this year, we've, like as I've just said, we're determined to go in and, you know, pursue this and see where we go with it. It might be something that, you know, might not come to nothing. We might go and feel it's not something that we really want to do in the end. But it's something that is still gnawing at our consciousness. So we're going to see if we can at least make our minds up. And because we have family there, it's kind of a little bit more, shall we say, doable than just rocking up, you know, on the cuff, trying to do it yourself. So putting that to one side, we're also going to get ourselves a dog. That didn't happen because we were going to do the extended trip to Portugal and then come back and get a dog. So I didn't think it would be fair to get a young dog and then obviously disappear off for a long period of time and put a dog into kennels. It just wasn't the right thing to do. So we put that off, keeping in mind that we were going to be going to Portugal and thinking once we've done that we will get the dog. But as we all know, it's been a long time we've been in and out of all these lockdowns and restrictions and things like that. So hopefully we get this Portugal trip out of the way this year, and then we can then move into finding a family dog. We're looking at a Husky or Malamute, if that's how you say it. But things could change with all that. So those are our two big things which are going to happen this year. And indeed, on a business perspective, pursue our stick hiking stick business just that little bit more, with a little bit more vigour, shall we say, particularly around the sales. Yeah, so this is just basically a snapshot of what I get up to when I don't have, shall we say, any firm commitments. Obviously today I've had domestic chores and I've had to help my wife with some stuff, but other than that, as you can see, I've had a little bit of free time, and you can see what a little bit of it consists of. Yeah, if I've got sticks to make, obviously I'm in full production for that. At the moment, like I said, I'm scaling back due to this time of year. I don't really see any real sales till after March, but this month has been about cutting. I've taken a couple days off cutting because I've been doing it with a little bit of earnest. And like I say, I'll resume that once we lose this little window of weather that we've got going on. I'm not on shift till I think it's the weekend. I think Saturday, I think I said it was. So I can't go or do anything then. So I've just sort of like, made sure I've utilised some time to myself. But I hope this just gives you a little bit of a flavour, and yeah, it's Andy.